Let's talk about this Souls-like game called Wulong. It has a good HDR. That's it. This game is terrible, man. Absolutely terrible. This is probably the worst game that I am going to play and beat, and I actually enjoy it. And the only reason I enjoy this game is because I love parries. Sekiro, Shadows Die Twice, that's my favorite game. And also I love Thymesia, another indie game. It has amazing combat system, much better than this one. So this game looks like garbage, man. It's horrendous. It's just popping everywhere. And the textures are so low resolution. You see low resolution textures everywhere. And it's popping. The shadows, the aliasing everywhere. It's just horrendous. The stuttering is okay. I mean, it's not. It doesn't stutter almost. The performance is garbage. For the way this game looks, it should be performing a lot better. It is just terrible, terrible looking. So the HDR is good though. You see popping. So the HDR is acceptable. It has sliders, so just adjust the maximum peak brightness of the game to 800 if you want to use HGIG, and just keep everything at default. What I'm doing right now is I am using dynamic tone mapping on with black frame insertion. So because I cannot get a good enough performance in this game with an image quality that looks acceptable, because I mean, if I lower the resolution or I use NVIDIA image scaling, it just looks so bad. I don't like it at all. So it looks bad as it is at 4K. It looks terrible. So, but that's the best I can get. So what I'm doing is 4K, max out graphics, get 60 FPS, and use OLED Motion Pro High. And to get the brightness, I am using dynamic tone mapping with the native HDR of the game, and I max out the peak brightness slider on the game to 1000, and then I'm using dynamic tone mapping on, master in peak max CLL 1000. So yeah, let me show you the settings. I mean, I'm talking about the settings. Let me show you. The HDR works and it looks very good. I'm not gonna complain about that. It's probably the only thing, technically, the only thing that this game is doing that is good, basically. So the reason why I max out this slider is because I want to prevent double tone mapping. So dynamic tone mapping on is doing tone mapping. So if you reduce the peak brightness of the game is doing tone mapping. So if you do tone mapping on the game and tone mapping on the TV, that is not desirable. So if you're gonna use dynamic tone mapping, my recommendation is always just max out the in-game sliders. You do no tone mapping on the game, and then you match the master in peak max CLL here on the LG C1. So let me show you. I am using OLED Motion Pro High, and then tone mapping on. There's no black level race on the game, and then I do this 111 3 111, and then use master in peak 1000 max CLL 1000 because I have 1000 on the game, and in this way the TV is doing tone mapping but the game it is not. So you want to prevent double tone mapping on the game and tone mapping on the TV. But it looks about the same. If you select, let's say 700, and you do 700 here, is the same thing. But yeah, it is better. It's supposed to be better, and it looks good. So I haven't played enough the game, so I beat to know if these settings are going to be bright enough. I'm sure the SDR HDR trick that I always use with black frame insertion looks brighter. I'm sure it does, or at least it might look better even. But I wanted to use the native HDR because it's the only good thing that the game has. So I'm not sure if this is going to look bright enough for the entirety of the game because I am still at the beginning. So I just beat the second boss of the game. And as I said, I like it. I'm going to play it. And the only reason why I like it is because of parries. I love parries. So you basically have to parry everything. You have to parry every single attack that the enemies do. And I like that. And it works. It works. So actually the parry window is very flexible. Very, very easy. I watched it before getting this game. I watched a review from ACG. And ACG said that this is the easiest Souls-like game, or one of the easiest, and I don't think so. I don't think this is the easiest Souls-like game, especially because you have to parry every single attack, like you have to in Thymesia. But Thymesia is a lot more difficult than this game. So if you're getting destroyed on this one, get Thymesia. That game is really gonna destroy you. It's a lot more difficult than this one. But you see popping, it's terrible, man. Look at that. Look at that. Just so close. Look at that. Popping. All the shadows are popping. It's terrible, man. It's just horrendous. Horrendous. Let me show you the in-game settings I'm using. The other thing is the in-game settings here are not even clear. Like, what's the best option? A standard or high? You don't know which one is better. When I change the textures from standard to high, I see no noticeable difference. I don't see any changes on the VRAM. The shadow quality from standard to high, I don't see any difference either. So I'm not even sure which one is better. I don't know. So this menu is just terrible. And yeah, no DLSS, no FSR, no upscaling, no dynamic resolution scaling. It looks like a very, very bad PC port too. It's terrible, man. But I'm going to play it because I like parries. That's it. Can I recommend this game? Absolutely not. Just being a tech enthusiast, you get this OLED TV, you get your PC or your high-end console. You want to see something that looks good, man. And this doesn't look good. It looks like garbage. But again, if you like the gameplay, if you're a fan of Sekiro, if you play all these Souls-like games, get it. I am enjoying it so far. I got destroyed. In this game at the beginning there was like a tiger that just hits you one time and you're dead, and I got destroyed by that tiger. But aside from that, everything else has been a lot easier. Because the only thing you have to do is parry. Yeah, that's it. You just look at the enemy and you press this button. King, 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 king. And you learn the enemy attack pattern. Just king, king, king. And when the enemy looks red, that is going to come at you with a more powerful attack, you don't hit this button right away. You wait until that powerful attack gets close enough. So you have to, get that timing and that distance. Just hit here and then you hit triangle to hit it hard. That's it. That's the only thing you have to do. You don't have to be hitting the enemy a lot. You just have to parry, 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 triangle. Parry, triangle, parry, triangle. That's it. That's all you have to do. Is parry, look at the enemy, parry. So don't try to attack the enemy. So I see people that are new to this kind of games, they might try to just spam the attack button. You're not gonna, you have to parry. Forget about hitting the enemy. Just parry, 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 and then attack after you parry. That's it. So yeah, I don't recommend this game because it just looks so bad, man. But if you are a Souls fan, if you play all these kind of games, get it. I am enjoying it, but it just looks too bad, man. It looks terrible. Terrible. The performance is very low. Yeah, the HDR is acceptable, though Nothing spectacular. It's just okay. But I'm very disappointed with this studio because these are the guys that did Neo or 1 and 2, which they look. I mean, Neo 1 is locked to 60 FPS, which is. And there's no way, if you know a way to unlock the frame rate on Neo 1, tell me. There's no mod that I know of that can unlock the FPS of Neo. No way to unlock the FPS as far as I know. But the game looks okay. It looks okay. Actually, I would say it looks better than this. That's arguable. You will need to put them side by side. But I think, for sure, this one doesn't look much better than Neo 1. But I like Neo 1 better than this for some reason. Then you have Neo 2, which is okay looking, but it has so much popping on the PC. It's just terrible. I think on the PS5, it has less popping. I saw a video of Digital Foundry. For some reason, the LOD on the PC is just broken or something. But the game was good, so I thought, oh, this studio, it has to be improving because I hope they made some good money with Neo, because Neo, I think it was successful. I don't know. But this game looks like a downgrade. It looks like they are going out of business. Why is this game so? Why this game has such a poor quality? Let me know. Is it because it's on Game Pass? Is Game Pass causing this problem? Games that are cheaper because the developers are not making enough money with the game, so they have less budget. Is this because of Game Pass that this game is so bad in terms of the quality of the production? Let me know. It is just a shame. I am very disappointed with this studio. I was hoping that they would do something better, something that looks like an upgrade, like an improvement, because I love these games. I play Neo 1, 2, and this one. So yeah, it's a shame, man. But I am a Souls fan, and I am also a tech enthusiast, and I would buy the latest and greatest and spend a lot of money, and then the games that I like to play, which is this kind of games, they look like garbage. Like Elden Ring, for example. I love that game. Absolutely amazing. It's just a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. One of the best games ever, in my opinion. But technically, it's garbage. Garbage. The only thing that has good is the HDR. Everything else is terrible. It runs like crap. Locks to 60 FPS. You can unlock that with a mod. No DLSS. No FSR. Just a shame to be a Souls fan and get this crap, technically incompetent games. It's a shame, man. But at least we are getting a lot of them. And actually, there is a game that is coming. I forgot the name. It's coming this month on March 10, I think it is. Forgot the name. I was watching a video a moment ago. It looks fantastic. And the person hyping up this game was saying that he played for 40 hours, before the game release. And he was saying that the game, the design, the level design was Dark Souls 1 like. Oh wow. You got me. If the game is anything close to Dark Souls 1, I would be like, where do I get that game? I want that game day one. Because Dark Souls 1, in my opinion, has the absolute best level design ever. It's just how everything interconnects. It's just mind-blowing. So that game, if you ask me, I will tell you what game is that. I forgot the name. That game is looking fantastic. It has some boss battles, and the bosses are huge. Kind of Shadow of the Colossus. That kind of proportion. You have gigantic boss battles on an open world that has fantastic level design. The graphics actually look pretty nice. So I'm hoping for that. And the game was made by 3 people. They're saying only 3 people made that game. If all of that is true, That's just insane. Insane game. And I'm getting that day one. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions. If you've played the game, if you're getting crushed. So yeah, let me know your thoughts and opinions and if you have any questions.